Is up, guys? Coming at you with another workout in this workout series. Today is pull day number 1. Starting off with some standard Ido Portal band warm-ups, and then I also throw in some exercise specific band warm-ups. So this is going to include some lower lat pulls, some rows, some pull-ups, some bicep curls, and then finally some face pulls, all done just for a bit of a warm-up. I then followed this bit up with some scapular activation. This is a really important exercise for warming up for pull-ups, just to engage your scapula properly in detracting those shoulder blades. Also a great warm-up for anything upper body related, to be honest. The scapula is super important. So just some more warming up, just doing some pull-ups with the false grip. I didn't actually use this for the main exercise because I'm not strong enough yet, but I like to always throw in a little bit of false grip work whenever I'm doing pull. First exercise we're doing today is the Elit chin up, and I'm doing 4 sets of 5. This is sort of a medium amount of volume. I put the slash tuck in there because I didn't actually manage the Elit throughout the entirety of this exercise. So the first set was a pretty strong set of 5 in Elit. This felt pretty good, although I was a little bit slow and then also did get a bit of a grind on the last rep. So I also throw in interset mobility on pretty much all the exercises I ever do. For back, it's generally a lat stretch, and that's just to loosen up any muscles that I am contracting. So the second set here, you'll see that I'm actually using the tempo much more effectively, going with the explosive concentric and the slow eccentric. And this is really to overload your muscle, because in the eccentric portion of a movement, you can generally lift, that is the contraction, the concentric is when you're contracting the muscle, and the eccentric is when you're going back to the fully relaxed state. So this is the concentric movement, and this is the eccentric movement. And in the eccentric, you can lift 120% of what you would be able to lift in the concentric. So if you were deadlifting 100 kgs, you would be able to perform 120 kg eccentric deadlift. So if you were starting from holding the bar, stood up straight, going down. So that's why if you really want to overload the muscle, you want to focus on a nice, slow, controlled eccentric portion of the exercise. Nice little melt looking at himself in the mirror. Who does he think he is? This is the final set here. Actually just moved to a full, just pure tuck on these as I was getting a little bit fatigued. It's weird how much just changing the exercise from like straight to tuck or Elit makes it so much harder, just because you have to keep that like full body tension. Right, so the next exercise that I go for is the bodyweight rows. Now here I go for 3 sets of 8, and I'm focusing on the top portion of the row here. You can see me pause just at the top. So I'm going for an explosive concentric, pause at the top, and a slower eccentric. Another very important aspect with the bodyweight row is maintaining a really stiff posterior chain, or at least I hope it's posterior, the back side of your body, and kind of maintaining this like kind of slight arch and tensing the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, the scapula, and really maintaining good body tension. You better see it better in this clip here. See how I lift my chest up, tense my glutes, and keep my whole body tight. I think this is really good if you're looking to progress your planche, back lever, perhaps your deadlift as well. It's going to really improve that kind of posterior chain strength, and also maybe balance out your shoulders as well. Another reason I'm focusing on the top portion of this movement is because for me that's a weak point. Because I don't do many bicep exercises, if at all, my biceps are actually slightly weak, and this is a bit of a disadvantage on pull-ups and rows. Next exercise is Pelican Curls. Again, we're doing 3 sets of 8 here. This is a new exercise for me, so you'll see me shuffling about a bit, just trying to work out my position. This is probably a good time to bring up kind of why I believe, like in the first exercise that I moved to tuck, in this exercise I'm moving about and adjusting the difficulty as I go through it. And that's because I think it's really important to not just go with whatever you're doing on your card that you have set out in front of you. I think it's very good to react to what is happening in your workout. So if you're struggling on a particular progression, there's no point really grinding that progression. You want to ensure you do a good quality of rep rather than just focusing on the quantity of whatever progression you're going for. So if you're really having to grind for like the 10th rep, then maybe you want to drop the progression and keep it so that you maybe still have 1 or 2 reps in the bag. I think you'll find that this will give you a much greater quality of workout as well. The Pelican Curl, I really like this exercise. One, because it makes my shoulders actually look big, which is kind of cool, and also it's just kind of like a pretty unique shoulder stability exercise. It's also nice to get a slight chest exercise, especially after a push day. So this is going into the last set here on Pelican Curls. I think this is also a great exercise for back lever because it's a good way of putting tension on your biceps without actually having to be in that full hanging position. So it's a good progression to working up to feeling comfortable in that back shoulder position. Probably also pretty good for maintaining shoulder stability and health. As you can see, I'm kind of grinding these last few reps, slightly contradictory to what I just said about thinking about quality of movement, but this is on reflection. So after these Pelican Curls, I've moved on to the next exercise, which is face pulls. I'm doing 3 sets of 8 again, and again, contradictory to what I just said, I'm using a too hard a progression for what I actually can do here. I'm having to slightly grind these reps out, and I'm not actually getting the quality of movement that I should be getting, especially with this movement, as it's quite tough on like ligaments and tendons. So it's probably best to start off light and start working your way into it as you progress. So that's definitely something that I'll incorporate in my next workout, rather than go for these more advanced progressions. You also see me shuffling about with my hands, and that's because my grip strength is pretty weak at the moment. I used to climb quite a bit, but I haven't climbed in the last sort of 3 or 4 months, so my grip strength has gone down quite considerably. At the end of this workout, you'll see that I actually throw in some grip training, which is I'm trying to counteract this weakness that I have currently. There you are, see it. I'm adjusting my hands. It also happens to do with the fact that I'm doing a too hard a progression. But I think the face pull is a really good exercise, definitely worth incorporating in your training. It's great for improving your shoulder health, because we live lives now, as well as working out and doing push a lot, we also live lives in like kind of a kyphotic, hunched over position, and your chest and anterior deltoids can get very overpowering. So it's always good to strengthen those posture muscles in the sort of back of your shoulders, top of your back, just to make sure that your shoulders sit nice and back and down and remain healthy. This will probably also help with preventing injury and just remaining altogether balanced. So the next exercise I perform here, as I said earlier, was a bit of grip training. I'm doing 2 sets of single arm hangs, 30 seconds on each arm, and swapping in between, trying not to touch the floor. The camera is also moving, and you'll see in the next set that it disappears, but I also follow this with 1 set of 30 seconds with double hand, just to finish off my grip. And the camera's just about to disappear as well, unfortunately. Slowly, it's like the Titanic, but at the gym. After every single workout I do, I also throw in some specific loaded stretching. So here I'm just working on my bicep flexibility and shoulder flexion, so I'm just throwing in some German hangs at the end of the workout just to sort of stretch that out. I'll then follow this up with an arch hang, so I'm just kind of putting more pressure into the lats, really trying to open the shoulders, and again, as I was talking about earlier, sort of create an open chest and work on improving that hunched over position. And further to support this, I'm going to throw in some bridge support, and this is also going to work the posture muscles on the back and also open up the chest and the lats that I've just been working. I'll then follow this up finally with a passive hamstring stretch just to loosen up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be a leg workout. Peace.